Hello and welcome to Talk of the Traitors.
Hello, I'm Benedict Townsend.
And I will be your host, Hannah Townsend.
And I will be the sidekick,
Sorry,
Benedict.
I don't know why I said that.
This is our mini-series from the podcast Talk of the Townsends. It's called Talk of the Traitors, where we talk about the latest UK series of the Traitors, Series 3.
And we are on episode number 5. It wasn't as strong an episode as last night's, but it was still pretty good.
Nothing is ever going to be as strong as episode 4.
That's the problem. It was the come down of closure.
Yes.
The girls and I do yoga. Wake up and it's October. The loss is yours. Do you know where those lyrics are from?
No, you did not take the words out of my mouth. I assume it's Taylor Swift.
No, it's a Maisie Peters song.
Of course. Taylor Swift doesn't mention yoga.
Fair.
It is part of the Traitors that there are ebbs and flows. You have to build up to those crescendo episodes like episode 4, and then naturally you have the kind of regrouping episodes. This was maybe more of a regroup episode, although not without twists.
Lisa's reveal of being an ordained priest. Talk about the crowd goes mild.
They did not. It was so funny, like the way she called everyone in, and then
but still missed people.
but still missed people. Like Mina apparently completely missed it, and also when it was revealed to Mina, she was just like, "Oh, okay."
Is she?
But it was so funny watching all their reactions because you could see they were all like, "Go on." Oh, it's just the priest thing, and also I think a lot of them were like, did I already know that?
Yeah.
Because what did she say her fake job was? Was that ever established?
I'm not sure we ever knew what she did.
You know what it was as well? An incredible preview for when our girl, fake Welsh, decides to drop that bombshell.
Lisa walked so that Charlotte could run.
Charlotte could run.
I wish I knew how to say Charlotte could run in Welsh.
So does she.
So honestly, throughout the episode, we saw people getting annoyed at Lisa for being Christian.
Yeah, I have to say, right, credit to the detective skills of this group. They were all like, what's the Christian thing about? I would have bet $1 million that no one would have picked up on the fake priest ruse.
Yeah.
But people were like, she does mention God. She must have mentioned God all the time.
Charlotte, it's like Charlotte has spidey senses that someone else is lying.
Yeah.
Because she was like, she keeps bringing up God every now and again. It was Charlotte who kept on hammering home that she was talking about God. So maybe she was like, I recognise
someone else who's doing a low-stakes, pointless lie. I'm really impressed that they picked up on the God thing because a lot of people invoke, I swear to God or whatever. But maybe she just kept saying it all the time in this very weighty way. I think partly probably because she wanted to do the reveals. So she was kind of almost, when people sort of give themselves away.
Yeah.
Although, she's not doing that.
No.
But yeah, the crowd went absolutely mild. They did not care, did they?
They did not
care. It was
care.
so funny.
And then we saw Anna go, I don't think she's a priest.
Well, but honestly, fair play to Anna because the big reveal from Lisa is, I've been lying to you.
Yes.
And then Anna's like, why do we believe her now? Fair from Anna.
Fair.
Let me tell you, Han, if you thought at last night's roundtable with Kaz that there were a bunch of clowns, you should see this episode.
Well, yes, because the clown, that was
Kind of scary.
I like clowns. I would have screamed.
You would have screamed.
I would have screamed bloody murder if that person with the knife came out. It was so over the top for absolutely no reason.
I love it though. Well, two things about you is one, you weirdly love clowns, but two, you're very easily spooked.
Yes.
So I feel like in that moment you would have felt very conflicted because you would have been like, yay, but then also,
Well, that wasn't a fun clown, was it?
No, that was a nasty clown. Oh, can I make a note as well? I think off screen, Claudia said to them, you're not allowed to number the doors.
Yes.
Because the obvious thing to do is to just say, it's the door that's second from the right.
I bet you they probably said that and we missed it and people will be like, she actually said that.
I don't think they... Well, maybe, because we do miss stuff a lot.
No, we sometimes miss stuff.
But I'm pretty sure she didn't say it because it's boring to show her saying that. But, they obviously said you can only describe it using the patterns.
Love, I don't think it takes Miss Marple to work out that.
Okay, but there probably will be some people at home who are like, why didn't you just say 1, 2, 3, 4 for the doors?
For the viewers at home.
For the viewers at home. There's people who thought you could edit the order they come into the room, all right? Not everyone's a genius.
Let's talk about Leanne and Leon from the Traitors because they very clearly left in the edit then saying they were having a domestic like a married couple. Was that a subtle foreshadowing?
Well, you said to me that did you think of this or did you get this from somewhere else that you think Alexander and Charlotte are a couple? I think there's a bit of a couple conspiracy going on here, that there might be couple or couples.
Multiple couples.
That's the thing. I'm like, is that going to be the big twist that there's multiple couples? Because also when Tyler left, he gave Livy a little kiss on the head. That could have been a friendly kiss.
He
but...
also said he'd never had a girlfriend.
Yeah, but he could be lying.
Well, that's true.
Let's not forget, some of these people aren't Welsh. Right? I hate to say it. It's funny every time you remember it, that she's faking being Welsh.
Alexander and Charlotte feel like they would go together. They would be a couple.
There was a clip of him sort of like catching her up, and it very much felt like, I don't know, like me and you, the way we'd be like, and then this happened, and then this happened.
Are there couples? Are there multiple couples?
That's the thing.
Leanne and Leon, I haven't heard her talk much about her personal life, but he definitely has kids and is a family man, and he's wearing a ring. I don't know if she's wearing a ring, but they seemed very close in that challenge.
They were holding hands in that challenge.
Interesting.
He is a little bit older than her, but that's possible. I mean, it might just be that he is a family man and he probably shouldn't have been holding her hand during that challenge. It might just be that they're friends.
They're mates. We don't want to say any two people who are close are in a relationship.
Yes.
But
you shouldn't, men and women can be friends. You shouldn't naturally assume. So is that going to be the big twist? That some, or perhaps all of them, are in a couple?
I've just put up a clip that says that everyone's related to someone in the last series and they're all couples.
I mean, we might all be getting a bit overexcited here, but I don't know. That's sort of feasible if there's some secret couples.
Well, if Lisa's reveal was anything to go by, it's going to shock the team if there are couples.
I mean, what's so funny as well is that we've been talking about Leanne, and she's also got the lie that she's
in the army.
That she wasn't pretending not to be a soldier.
She's a nail technician.
Yeah, everyone's got these low stakes lies. Can I just give a shout out? This was actually in yesterday's episode, but in episode 4, we got our first instance of Claudia saying, "The traitors are laughing at you," which is almost like a catchphrase on this show. I was wondering when she was going to crack that out.
The bingo card is, "The traitors are laughing at you. I'm X, so I'm really good at reading people."
Yes.
I felt particularly sorry for Freddy this episode.
Yeah.
Because, okay, maybe he shouldn't have used the word clique if he did, if it was clique, if it was group. But his theory had kind of legs to it.
Yeah.
Like the fact that there's 4 of them who are kind of controlling this narrative about him. He knows himself he is a faithful.
Yeah.
So it does make sense that possibly one of them could be.
Yeah.
And it was just so interesting that everyone just got up and left rather than saying like, come on guys, like you're screaming at each other across the room.
Yeah.
Freddy's a one guy against 4 of you. You're all coming at him like, let's just eat our corns on the cobs from the barbecue in peace.
Yeah, all the other people, the bystanders, none of them stood up for Freddy, because you could stand up and be like, look, I don't know if he's faithful or not, but let's like not yell at Freddy.
You're 4-on-1.
I will say, Freddy handled that with a lot more grace and decorum than I would have. I would have been yelling, because they were being, Livy especially, I will say, was being a bit too intense about it. It was being kind of rude to Freddy.
Yeah, and
he was going, look, he kept saying like, if you think I'm a traitor, that's fine, but please stop yelling at me. And they just kept yelling at him.
But they have theories, so he should be allowed to have a theory.
Yeah.
Like, people are just too defensive. Like, you have to be able to sit with the fact that some people might think it's you.
Yeah.
And that is difficult in this game scenario, but you can't be shouting at a young boy who's by himself.
No, he handled that really well. I will say also, Freddy went from being someone everyone was gunning to then taking down the number 1 guy. Like,
Uno reverse.
He took down Tyler. I'm like, if he was a traitor, he'd actually be an amazing traitor, because he destroyed his greatest enemy. And he did it like pretty slickly.
Leanne took him off to the side and he was like, what do you think about Tyler? And she was like, it might be Tyler. And then they all voted for Tyler.
He completely turned that entire group against Tyler. I mean, he did it with the most pure heart.
Yeah.
But I think maybe everyone's been underestimating Freddy a little bit.
Yeah.
He's good at this game. I did feel really sorry for him though. Like, everyone was just gunning for him. And he was like, look, I get it. It's the game, but they wouldn't leave. Livy also, she's the new, who was the one who was always on Wilf in the previous series?
Oh, yeah.
You know, when people have just got a bee in their bonnet, and it's like, I get it. Please stop going on about it.
But was Alexander not one of the people eating the corn on the cob from the barbecue? He famously...
Conflict resolution.
Where were you, my man? Stand
know.
up. Just stop someone shouting at Freddy across the room. Like, if you feel so uncomfortable that you want to leave, how do you think he feels?
But I guess the problem is, no one knows who the traitors are. Freddy's got this kind of bad vibe around him that he might be a traitor. If you defend him, suddenly everyone's going to throw you under the bus.
The bad stinks on you.
That's why you do have to be a good person and stand up for Freddy regardless. But you don't know if you're being a good person or if you're being tricked. I do understand how this game can get in your head for these people. I understand how they all go a little bit deranged from this, because you just can't trust anyone.
But again, you're on the telly.
You want to be nice.
The best thing you can do is come out of this with your head held high.
A
and
Kaz.
and not be watching it through through
Your fingers.
Yeah, and not have to watch this back, like cringing. Like if I was that guy who kept rolling his eyes every time Livy was crying, like I would be watching this back and I would be a bit embarrassed, to be honest. That's not nice.
You're being filmed. A quick reminder again, I say this every episode, you are being filmed. Adjust your behaviour accordingly.
I think we need every single episode for you. Just a quick reminder. You're
reminder.
On the teller. All right?
If I was in Claudia's position, God willing one day, I would just be like, just a quick reminder, you are all being filmed. Let's all
be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Let's be 10% nicer.
Yeah.
You should be nice to be nice anyway, but you might as well at least do it just for the sake of the telly.
Can I say one thing that I should have said earlier? If Leanne and Leon are a couple, I feel like when they got through to the very end and they won the shield, I feel like they had a little kiss.
We have the same brain. They started celebrating and then they cut away from them. They cut away. And I thought to myself, we have the same brain. I thought to myself, I bet they had a little kiss there and they've cut away from that.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry. Like if he if he does have a wife and kids at home and they are just mates, like that's totally fine. Like I don't think anything untoward is happening.
No.
But I feel like there is a chance that they just get on very well.
Yes, we're not casting aspersions. We don't know anything about these people. So we're just making assumptions based on the limited information the show has provided.
Exactly.
If they're both wonderful family people, that's wonderful. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this.
Don't sue us.
We don't want to be sued. On the topic of Leon, I just want to say, it's worth saying in this series where people are a little bit prickly, I think Leon's a good guy. I like that he went and spoke to Freddy and was like, didn't want him to be hurt.
Yeah.
You know, he was a low bar.
I wondered if he was kind of covering his back there.
Do you think he remembered he was on TV?
I think he might have remembered he was on the tele. I don't know. I don't know him. I just thought, was there a bit of a shit? But actually, he said he's a nice family guy. And do you know what? He did say he really liked Kaz. So I don't know. Freddie deserved that apology. So if it happened, then
it's a low
I like
bar,
it.
but at least he tried.
Yeah, because actually Livy didn't come and apologise to Freddie.
No.
And Livy was the one who has been quite mean to him. So she could have done with an apology from him. And if anything, he keeps going up to her being like, we all right? I just want to make sure we're mates. It's just like...
Also, you got to ask yourself from her perspective, okay, Livy, even if you get him out and he is a traitor, did you need to do all this?
Yes, I know. Was it worth it?
Was it worth it
to probably be murdered or, evicted in a couple of rounds to have been so nasty to someone?
Exactly. Can I say another thing? I just want to cut the team on the show some slack, right? You know, when they banish a faithful and they're like, for God's sake, another faithful. There's like 25 of you, and only 2 of you are traitors.
I agree. Your odds are not in your favour.
Yeah. So every time they get a faithful out, they're like, I can't believe it. It's like, well, statistically, I can easily believe it.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of crazy. They just got one out recently. They're probably not going to get another one out immediately. Like, go easy on yourself. Claudia also is like, I can't believe it. It's like, really? There's loads of them.
I think you're just so convinced in your head, like you're voting Tyler because you 100% believe it's him. And then when it's not him, you're like, what?
I can't believe they went down the route again of like the loudest, brashest guy who is incapable of not speaking his mind must be the traitor.
But Armani.
Oh, yeah, true. You've got me there.
Enter Armani. Stage right.
Yeah, true, damn.
Let's talk about Fozia immediately clocking Linda.
Fozia is wasting no time.
No time. She's getting in there.
Immediately clocked the situation with Kaz. Immediately clocked Linda. I mean, I do think she's also going to be immediately murdered. I think she's going to get so murdered, unfortunately.
Linda's unfortunately having to keep tabs on so many different people that she needs murdered because they all think it's her. She buckled under that pressure.
Yeah, Linda is on borrowed time, I will say.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised, no hate to her, but I'm kind of amazed she's made it this far, considering that they were on her episode 1. It's only because of their apparent sudden amnesia that she's still in the show.
Yeah.
Because her acting, as we've discussed, is
not the best.
A little questionable at times. Tell you who is never under suspicion, and it actually blows my mind. Maybe they're just not showing it, but no one even utters Mina's name.
Never.
Masterclass of treachery.
Love it.
It's crazy though, right?
She's also great to watch because she's having fun with it. Like, it's hard to watch a traitor who is so stressed that it's like killing them. Like, she is just thriving. She's loving it. She's having fun with it. She's cool, calm and collected. She's not in her head. This is like, it's a joy to watch.
Also, like, you know, she was sad about Kaz leaving. Like, she has like empathy. She's not playing it like full villain. But also what I like is she's actually playing the role of a traitor. She's getting in there. She's mixing things up.
Yes, she's not, she speaks.
Yes. She's not like, you know, Linda, basically, like, Linda's in survival mode, but Mina's in the crowd, putting out theories, doing misdirects. Do you know what I mean? Like, Mina's like doing the groundwork. And that's fun to watch. Also, can I say to Anna, look, I respect your integrity. Turning down recruitment is a really boring move. I'm sorry.
Incredibly boring.
I get it if you think you can't handle it. But why wouldn't you want to try?
And also, you don't need to be a sailor to know how to tie a rope.
It's a famous saying. We've all heard it.
Incredibly boring. I understand where she was coming from because, yeah, was it just going to be lion, you know, meat to the lion? What's it called?
Well, she was just going to be a sacrificial lamb, wasn't she?
There you go. Meat to the lion.
Meat to the lion, the classic. Another classic phrase. You don't have to be a sailor to know a lion.
To meet a lion. So they were recruiting her to sacrifice her.
She did spell that out well. Like, she saw through it.
But really boring because I would have loved her to go over to the other side.
Also, I'm just like, if I'm on the show, stepping back, it's like, you don't want to just like be inside Traitors Tower.
Also, I would be gagging to know. Yeah. I would just have to know who the other people were.
I just think you've already got to be a faithful. You get to wear the cloak. You get to go in the tower. You get to find out who the traitors are.
After hours with Claudia Winkleman.
Exactly, after hours. Okay, yes, you might be immediately betrayed, but that's quite fun. Bucket list stuff.
Exactly.
But anyway.
If you were Anna from the Traitors, would you have immediately announced at the breakfast table that they were going to recruit you?
I think yes. I think it's quite spicy that she didn't. But the thing she should have said is the little note, which I think is new.
Yes.
They made them write a reason. Did you notice that on the form there was
a strong female?
But like there was on the form you had to state why you were recruiting that person, and they said they wanted strong independent females or something
like that.
But surely that's kind of a clue as to who the traitors might be, or I suppose it could be a double bluff.
The guys wouldn't recruit, as we saw last year. The guys don't. They don't choose women. But no. I kind of wish she'd just announced it to everyone so that they could have kind of discussed that. And just to watch, you know, if I had been her and announced it to the room, just watch everyone's faces.
Also, like, surely announcing that someone tried to recruit you is like one of the surest ways to prove you're a faithful. Because if you were recruited, it would be pretty bold to stand up and say, they tried to recruit me and I said no, if you were recruited.
Agreed.
I don't think anyone would have the guts to do that.
No, because it puts all the heat on you for literally no reason.
Exactly. And then the only other option is that you're completely lying, which also someone else could probably disprove. So I think standing up and being like, they tried to recruit me, but I said no, makes you look really faithful. It probably also gets you murdered, but I guess she's probably going to be murdered anyway.
So what have we learned about Anna? Boring choice not to choose to become a traitor. And also you don't need to be a sailor to tie a rope.
We've always said this. To be fair, I think she said, like, when Claudia was interviewing her,
I really want to be a...
No, she said, I don't want to be a traitor.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, she has been like Team Faithful from day one. So she's stuck to her sailor's rope as the sailing goes.
As the sailing goes. Two final things I loved. When they were like, we're in a bog of shit.
Yeah, we're in a bog of shit.
And also Linda just not getting washed or changed from that challenge. She was still covered with that gold for like 90% of the episode, whereas everyone else looked like they'd like properly dusted off.
Alexandra, I will say, also was weirdly covered in glitter. Yeah, those two had decided they were into that look, apparently. What do you think about Linda volunteering to go first? Unnecessarily suspicious, I think.
Unnecessarily suspicious, I agree. But I think it was Lisa who led that. Silly.
Careless from Linda, but...
So Fozia is on the chopping block.
I think she's
You heard
dead.
it here first. Come back tomorrow where we talk about how she was immediately killed because she was a strong player.
She wasn't like Yin, where she came in and started like bragging about how smart she was.
No, but putting people on the spot like that and making them uncomfortable when they are a traitor, like, you're gonna get murdered.
The only one who's ever truly understood the game was Jazz.
Yeah, keep it quiet.
Yeah, he would go, that person's a traitor, therefore I will not mention that to anyone. He was so good. Rest in peace.
Anyway, we've got school tomorrow, so we must be going.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to follow to get the episodes first.
Sorry, we're both talking.
Podcasting. I was saying something useful. You were saying thank you 5 times.
Thank you for listening.
Make sure to follow to get the episodes first. I've been Benedict.
Thank you.
Thank you.